I think it's a great idea to have this because people are mixing with each other in a very informal setting. And I think after some amount of being constrained in a can, thanks to the pandemic, coming out and discussing one's experiences, especially in the real life situation, uh, and not really trying to criticize each other. You see, the problem with WhatsApp and other medias that people use during the pandemic and continue to use is that it doesn't show the person or the feeling. It's more of one-upmanships quite often. I think in the case of conferences like this, you build on each other's thoughts, which is much more constructive. First one is disruption, the last one is disruption. Disruption of business models, disruption of the way we do things, disruption thanks to technology, which is in a positive sense. So coping with this disruption, and particularly the disruption is happening from outside the organization, from multiple stakeholders, it could be because of government policy, it could be because of OEMs, it could be because of your customers, because of their demands, and the disruption is being driven by them and not just by competition, which earlier we used to preoccupy in the mind more than anything else. So staying in step with this kind of disruption with multiple stakeholders and coping with it is hard unless one has an engine of continuous learning, continuous renewal, and continuously trying to bring about change in the way you do things. And dropping organizational orthodoxy is very important. I think realizing that some of the practices that we had in the past are not relevant anymore and adopting new ones is very important. Never stop learning. Learn as if you're going to be learning forever, because it's like a treadmill. And if you stop learning, because I think the phases of learning through the career rainbow, if I may call it that, made us change our learning style dramatically, from rote learning to learning because of a certain amount of fear in school, to learning which is slightly more open in classrooms in college. And now the entire concept of a classroom has got demolished and it has been expanded into the virtual world. So the opportunities now, thanks to hyper-personalized learning, ubiquitous learning, synchronous and asynchronous learning, multimodal learning, are all so good in this world that, to keep pace with the earlier point that we discussed about the rate of change, it's very important to keep learning. And therefore, when I interview candidates, I ask them a question about what would you like to learn in the next 6 months, 1 year, 3 years, rather than where would you like to be in your career? Because that's the number one goal that one should set as a young person today.